they can fill it up and do so in a hurry. On the other side, it's Western Carolina, a team that's coming in after a 5-game road swing, their first home game in quite a while. They're trying to find a way to get a win here at home, just their second road game of the season, Jeff, second home game of the season, Jeff. And this is a team that's got to find a way to not have scoring lulls, especially against a team like Appalachian State that can fill it up.
They've had good first halves this season. They have had those scoring lulls. They had a 69-60 loss last Thursday on the road at College of Charleston, but they're hoping to build on that good performance despite losing against the Cougars.
Talking about that game against the Cougars, this guy right here, Mike Amy, has led the team with 22 points. He did it from the inside with the dunk. He did it by stepping back with a jump shot just inside the three-point arc. He had a great game, a career-high 22 points in that loss against the Cougars.
He's a junior transfer, and in addition to scoring those 22 points, he scored 11 of the team's first 13 points to really set the tempo for the Catamounts in Charleston last Thursday evening.
He'll get a good test down inside with the bigs of Appalachian State. The Catamount starting 5 being introduced. Let's give you a look at the series history. We talk about longtime rivals. This the 191st all-time meeting between Western Carolina and Appalachian State. The Mountaineers hold the edge in this series, but Jeff, as you look there, Western Carolina's had a little bit of an edge here, especially winning last year. Last year's ball game in Boone, the Catamount defense held Appalachian State to just 3 made field goals in the second half.
And this series has been extremely close here in Cullowhee, with Appalachian State holding a narrow 45-44 edge over the Catamounts.
So the Catamounts will try to even the series with their arch rival, the Mountaineers, here in Cullowhee. They'll try to do that here in terms of games played here at home for Western Carolina. Let's take a look at those starting lineups first for the visitors from Appalachian State. We mentioned Ronshad Shabazz. He's one of those catalysts that makes this Appalachian State team go. As we're getting a look there, all the festivities during pregame. But starting lineups, again, you talk about it right there. Ronshad Shabazz right there in the middle. But how about Justin Forrest having an outstanding start to his rookie campaign?
And he's the only freshman on the Appalachian State roster, 17 points per game. So a true impact freshman on this Mountaineer team.
Isaac Johnson, one of those big fellas down inside, 6'9" sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And you see flanked there by senior Griffin Kinney, another 6'8" big guy down inside out of Delaware, Ohio. For Western Carolina, take a look at their starting 5 that head coach Larry Hunter will put on the floor this evening, led by freshman Matt Halverson, who's having a pretty good start to his rookie campaign in his own right.
Yeah, but you can't sleep on Mark Gosselin as the junior. Had a double-double last Thursday evening against the Cougars, 10 points, 10 rebounds. So he may be the X factor tonight for the Catamounts.
And, of course, Darius Parks, a senior guard that's back for Western Carolina. This is a senior-laden team. They have a lot of seniors on the squad, but it's a squad that still has a lot of youth. And we'll see Mike Amy as jump center for Western Carolina. Sit back, relax, enjoy this one from the Ramsey Center in a packed house on a Monday night. Rare edition of non-conference basketball. These two mountain rivals, again, the fan bases, the alumni bases, the student bodies. As Matt Halverson gets a first look and can't make that one fall. A big rebound down inside by Isaac Johnson. But a good look early, and there you see out in transition, and Darius Parks does a good job of getting back. You see the Mountaineers, they want to get out and run every opportunity. Again, a team averaging right at 90 points per game.
They love when the opposition misses baskets and they can get the rebound in that fast transition game. Unfortunately for the Mountaineers, that time just a little too quick on the outlet pass, but an inbounds play now from the baseline.
Coach Hunter said pregame that slowing transition, you got to rebound, you got to take care of the basketball, and you got to take good shots if you're Western Carolina to try to prevent them from getting out. And talking about Appalachian State getting a good look down the floor in transition. First miss inside for the Mountaineers. Both squads with one possession. Neither one has been able to scratch the scoreboard yet. Darius Parks, long 3 ball, back of the rim, no good. And another rebound by Johnson. Johnson looking to run. Gets it up the floor quickly for the Mountaineers. Here they are in transition. Good recovery by Western Carolina, but a good finish by the 6'9" big fella. This is a Western Carolina team that gave up a lot of points in the paint in a game where they had 2 big guys at Texas Arlington. UT Arlington had 2 7-footers that combined for 52 of the 80-plus points in that ballgame. So inside presence is going to be huge tonight for the Mountaineers.
And Appalachian State, a team that's averaging 89 points per game coming into Cullowhee tonight.
Mark Gosselin down the lane. Good help defense by the Mountaineers. 7 to shoot. Halverson will launch another one. That one halfway home before it popped out on him. Good offensive board by Gosselin, continuing the battle. It's going to be out. Last touch by Western Carolina. And a large crowd here inside the Ramsey Center. Not happy about that call. Mountaineers with the early advantage. Catamounts a little full court press. Justin Forrest with it. He's going to take his first offering of the night. That one just a bit short. That's one of those outstanding freshmen for App State. Mutombo dushes it off to Amius. Wasn't ready for the pass. Abubakar Mutombo, a name that sounds familiar to a lot of fans. His older brother Haruna Mutombo played in Cullowhee. Of course, his uncle is Dikembe Mutombo, as Darice Parks will give Western Carolina their first lead with their first made basket on a triple from the left wing.
Senior guard on this team, and that's a big bucket early on to establish a little momentum here for the Catamounts.
Mark Gosselin with a block shot down inside. It'll remain with the Mountaineers. Get a look at App State head coach Jim Fox in his fourth season. It's been a rebuilding process for Coach Fox in Boone, trying to get things going his fourth year. Again, out to a 5-4 start this season, but a very solid basketball coach.
Back-to-back 9-win seasons, so getting the 5 early victories this season shows that progress is being made here by Fox and his staff in Boone.
Good look inside, and the steal, ball knocked away by Amy, is taken away by Halverson. Matt Halverson, inside lob, goes to Gosselin. He can't finish there, but kicks it back out. Parks, see if he has the hot hand early for Western Carolina, and he does as he buries a triple. We were going to talk about Appalachian State's prowess with the three-point shot, as they average about 11 made threes per ball game, but Western Carolina, quick 2 threes out of the outset here and have the early advantage. Good penetration and drive that time by Forrest, finishing at the glass, and an outstanding freshman, Justin Forrest.
Good cut to the bucket, and 6-4 early Catamount lead. And talking about Darice Parks running the point right now for the Catamounts, only shoots 31% from the three-point land, but 2 quick three-pointers in this game to help the Catamounts build the lead.
Mark Gosselin out of Lyon, France, tried one from the left corner. He's a forward that can shoot the outside shot. He really can put pressure on an opponent defense with his ability to take the outside shot, but it's the inside game again, as Griffin Kinney with a little scoop and score down inside. About 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes gone here in the opening half. And we're tied at 6. A couple of free balls by Darice Parks leading the way for Western Carolina. Mutombo very good at scoring at the basket, and he does so there. High off the window, something that was patented by his older brother Haruna when he wore the purple and gold.
Definitely runs in the family. Nice kiss off the glass, and the Catamounts back to a 2-point lead, and now a takeaway.
Mutombo looking for one of his best games. He had 10 points in the opener. He had one game where he had 8 points, but then in 5 games this year, he didn't even get to 10 points combined in a 5-game stretch. So, again, Abubakar Mutombo's got to be big for Western Carolina. That's good transitional defense for Western Carolina, able to knock the ball away, and it'll be Mountaineer basketball when we return to Cullowhee. Hot start for both teams, 8-6 your score. Back after this quick timeout, 15:59 to go here in the first half, here on ESPN3.
When you're feeling hungry, you don't want to mess around with a quarter-pound meat sandwich. Instead, eat the new half-pound roast beef sandwiches. 8 ounces of thinly sliced, tender roast beef. And if you really want a quarter pound of beef, that's cool. Just eat half of one of these. Arby's, we have the meat.
The Ford year-end sales event is in full swing.
Hey, Santa Claus is coming.
'Tis the season.
No, that's him in my blind spot.
He is rocking that scooter.
With a sidecar.
Doesn't need reindeer, baby.
Making the holidays happen. That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now during the Ford year-end sales event, get 0 for 72 plus 1,000 cash back on a 2017 F-150. See your Carolina Ford dealer today.
An 8-6 lead for Western Carolina, just over 4 minutes gone here in the first half, and a packed house inside the Ramsey Center. Daniel Hooker alongside Jeff Bryson. Western Carolina looking to get their leading scorer, Matt Halverson, going. Matt Halverson came in averaging over 11 points per ball game. Did not score in that game against the College of Charleston. Our very own Summer McMahon, third member of our broadcast team, was able to talk to Matt prior to tonight's ball game. Summer has more.
Hey guys, I spoke with Matt earlier, and he said the pressure started at Alabama A&M up in Niagara. Team started playing tight man-to-man, and he experienced much more face guarding. He said tonight we can expect him to be a lot more active.
Thanks a lot, Summer. Get a look at McMahon there on the defensive end, and get a good look at Halverson, rather, as a long three ball is up and good. And talk about Appalachian State. They get the ball in the hands of Ronshad Shabazz, and he knocks down the first triple. And appreciate Summer's report there. Again, if you're a freshman coming in, Jeff, you're not on the scouting report all that much, and all of a sudden you lead the team in scoring, you knock down a handful of three-pointers, and all of a sudden you're on the top of that scouting report.
You can't hide anymore, but also he's a streaky shooter, so we get the feeling once he cans that first tray, we'll see a series of buckets from Halverson.
Amy is down inside trying to get going like he did at the College of Charleston, where Jeff mentioned he scored 11 of the first 13 points in that road loss for the Catamounts. Coach Hunter feels like they played well enough defensively to win, but had lulls in the scoring that allowed College of Charleston in that second half to pull away and get the 9-point win. Catamounts rallied back late, but could not cut in further into that lead down the stretch against the Cougars.
Early on, Appalachian State shooting 50% from the floor, the Catamounts at 30%.
Good defense, backing him down, and good move by Kenny. That's a big young man right there, able to finish within a couple of feet of the basket. More points in the paint right now, and the Catamounts are going to go to the bench. The big Charlindez Brooks will jump up.
Kenny out of Delaware, Ohio, and a nice move down on the post.
Again, you see Halverson being hounded on the top there. Inside, Amy is working against Kenny. Throws it up, can't get it to fall. Rebound battled for and picked up. Height advantage, size advantage right now, playing the way for Appalachian State. Isaac Johnson, Griffin Kenny, both of those two young men down low, taking their way with the rebounding. Drove into trouble, and now Johnson's going to turn it over. He got down low. Good help defense coming for Western Carolina, and the turnover and the first foul against either side.
It's like Mike Amias here is going to position himself to take the charge, and that will get the ball back to the Catamounts here, down by 3. And you can see the nice crowd out here in Cullowhee tonight. Of course, the students, Daniel, receiving some goodies on the way in. Some local businesses giving away T-shirts, also free pizza tonight. And the entire marching band from Western Carolina University filling up one of the end zones here in the Ramsey Center tonight.
See Charlindez Brooks, also freshman Marcus Thomas in, as Derice Parks, Catamounts' leading scorer. He's got 6 of the first 8 points. Brooks going down low, working against one of the bigger guys for Appalachian State. Sky hook won't fall. Isaac Johnson boards the miss. And, of course, you mentioned it, Jeff. You say free, students come running. That seems to be the key in marketing.
I think that works with you also.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if it's free, it's me. It's my favorite flavor. 11-8, Appalachian State with the advantage. Ronshad Shabazz working against Mutombo. Launches the pass down inside. Going to have it pinned against the backboard and a foul called late. As new into the ballgame is Jake Wilson, the 7'1", the redshirt junior out of Raleigh. Had the ball pinned up against the backboard. Get a look at Western Carolina head coach Larry Hunter. 856. See wins there. Yeah, he's one of the 8th leadingest active head coach in terms of career wins. He's actually at 691, and that's the number of 856 is the number of wins he's been a part of as a coach over his 40-plus year career. Of course, he's in his 13th season in Cullowhee. Had a couple of nice runs in the Southern Conference basketball tournament.
And trying to get this team with some new faces to gel right now. And obviously playing a rivalry game here at home, the Catamounts hoping to build a little momentum.
Well, you talk about the intensity of this ball game so far. Again, just a 13-8 Appalachian State lead. Western Carolina starters in the game against College of Charleston played the first almost 10 minutes. They went almost into that second, or after that second media timeout before they made a change. They've already gone to the benches, Larry Hunter. Again, you see Marcus Thomas, you see Maurice Smith, also Charlindez Brooks, all in the lineup. And here's an ill-advised pass up top, taken away by O'Shawn Williams. And O'Shawn Williams is going to be called for an offensive foul in transition. And that's just really good defense for Western Carolina, getting back and rotating and understanding. Again, a tough pass up top taken away, and Williams commits the turnover on the foul going the other way.
So a couple of charging violations against the Mountaineers will give the ball back to the Catamounts, who are facing their biggest deficit right now in the first half. Appalachian's biggest lead of the game, 5 points here as we go under 13 minutes.
Yeah, you see Western Carolina closing in on almost a 4-minute drought without a field goal. That's what we talked about in the opening. A team that's got to find a way to just score and score consistently. Darius Parks has been the only bright spot. He knocks down his third triple as he has a step back three there, and back within 2, pull the Catamounts.
He's got 9 of the 11 Catamount points here in the first half, and that'll pull the Catamounts back within 2.
O'Shawn Williams running the point out front. Works it around Justin Forrest, the outstanding freshman. A little shimmy shake out front, trying to get to the lane. You can see a dribble drive penetration team. Western Carolina saw something very similar out of the College of Charleston. Did a good job. They played a lot of zone defense against the College of Charleston, a team that doesn't shoot the 3-ball well. But against a team like Appalachian State, who does fill it up from out beyond the arc, you got to go a little more man-to-man than you can afford to play that zone defense. Because the best way to get a team out of a zone, Jeff, is just knock down a 3-pointer.
Absolutely, and we've seen Darius Parks do that here 3 times in the first half.
2-point ball game, 12-minute mark. O'Shawn Williams, pull up, jump shot just inside the arc. Long rebound's going to go all the way back out, picked up by Appalachian State. Mountaineers will have a brand new 30-second shot clock.
This is not the preference of this Mountaineers offense. They prefer more of a fast pace than a half-court set.
Long and athletic, Tyrell Johnson, 6'8". Here's another 3-ball right side. Forrest can't get it, but there's, again, Johnson on the rebound. In trouble. Catamounts will assist defensively. And now will draw the foul, the hoop and the harm. As getting it up to the rim is Tyrell Johnson. And a nice job there coming through, and that'll take us to our under 12 media timeout. Mountaineers back at the free throw line with a 4-point edge when we return to Cullowhee. We'll have more after this on ESPN3.
They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
The 9-2 Steelers go for their 7th straight win on Monday Night Football. Steelers, Bengals, tonight, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
MLS Cup, Saturday at 4 Eastern on ESPN.
Everybody say Warriors, Warriors.
Saturday, 2 of the top pound-for-pound fighters collide for the WBO Junior Lightweight World Title. Vasily Lomachenko squares off against Guillermo Rigondeaux. Top Rank Boxing, Saturday at 9 on ESPN.
Hi.
Well, honey, I said sweet potatoes.
Yes, you did. I forgot the shrimp.
Visit your local Infinity retailer during our winter sales event.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like pre-shaken sodas. Switch to #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
An early 4-point lead for the Mountaineers. They'll be back at the free throw line as we come back into Cullowhee. 15-11 your score there as Western Carolina. Scrappy play down low a moment ago as we saw that going out to break, Jeff. Appalachian State able to come away with it. It's one of the bigger guys on the floor. And all 6'8" of them able to come away with that ball down in that scrum.
Appalachian State connecting on the free throw. We talked about how the Mountaineers had a great shooting effort against South Florida on Saturday, shooting over 50%. Right now, shooting 54% here in the first half against the Catamounts, and they've matched their biggest lead at 5 points, 16 to 11.
Yeah, the Catamounts went about 4 minutes without a bucket till that third Darius Parks 3. Right side, Mo Smith will launch a triple. That's no good. Rebound picked up by Jake Wilson. This is a Western Carolina team that has had its own issues with shooting the basketball at times, and they've also found some success shooting the 3-ball as well. Knocked down 14 3-pointers in a win over Alabama A&M, and there's right on cue Justin Forrest for Appalachian State, a team that averages right at 11 threes per game, knocking out another triple from the left corner.
Of course, we talk about bloodlines, and his father, James Forrest, an outstanding player for Georgia Tech back in the 90s. So little family flavor there for Appalachian State.
Traded the blue and gold of the Ramblin' Wreck for black and gold of the Mountaineers. Lob goes right elbow. Charlindez Brooks running the offense. Otto Steger, an outstanding shooter for Western Carolina, has yet to get an opportunity. Maurice Smith powers it down inside, has it knocked away, stolen away by Appalachian State. It's going to be a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Mountaineers. And on the floor for the Catamounts right then, you had freshman Desmond Johnson. You also had another freshman in Marcus Thomas, so a bunch of youngsters on the floor for Larry Hunter. He'll play really deep into that Catamount bench.
And this is Appalachian State's biggest lead, and this is kind of a danger zone here for the Catamounts. They've had the tendency to play close and then let the opposition go on a run. And let's see if Appalachian State can build on this lead, not on this possession.
Yeah, Forrest misfires on the 3 ball. Mark Goslin coming off that double-double against the College of Charleston, able to pull down the rebound and goes the other direction. Desmond Johnson, an outstanding freshman for Western Carolina out of Memphis, Tennessee, will run the point. Otto Steger out of Ohio. Amius, the junior transfer, cut off on his drive, tries the up and under, can't get it to fall. Rebound battled for, out of bounds, last touch by the Mountaineers.
Right now, Appalachian State's interior defense really causing problems for the Catamounts.
Coach Hunter said that if you knock down some inside shots, it forces the opposition to protect the paint and guard the inside shot. That should open up things around the perimeter. Darius Parks has done that. He's knocked down 3 3-pointers, but got to get some of these other shooters, the Otto Stegers, the Matt Halversons, guys like that are shooters for this Catamount program. Have got to get them open looks.
Catamount shooting only 30% here, just under the 10-minute mark in the first half.
Again, it was at this point that Mike Amius had already gotten 11 points last time out. Goslin slips a bit as he went to put on the brakes and will turn it over on the travel violation. 8-point Mountaineer lead. They look for double digits on this possession.
Daniel, this is a new floor being played on for only the second time as far as a men's game here at Western Carolina.
Yeah, upgraded during the offseason. Inside ball knocked away from Griffin Kinney. A lot of contact as Amius was able to get down there. Forrest pulls up at the elbow. Kicks it out left side. Ball off the foot and stolen away by Darius Parks. And you can see Appalachian State, they want to get inside, and Darius Parks is unconscious right now. Buries his 4th triple. He's got 12 points. He has all but 2 of Western Carolina's 14 points here in the first half.
And again, we're talking about a player that came in shooting only 37% from the field, 31% from three-point range, but he has been on fire from beyond the arc here in the first half.
Griffin Kinney nearly coming down with the rebound, but it was last touched by Western Carolina and will be Mountaineer basketball. A couple more subs coming in as get our first look at Zach Cottrell checking in for Appalachian State.
And Appalachian State also controlling the boards here in the first half, but that's not really a surprise, Daniel. They are 3rd in the nation in total rebounds and 4th in rebounds per game, and that's in all of Division I college basketball coming into Cullowhee tonight.
Puts it on the floor. Dribble drive kicks. Getting to that midline. Appalachian State doing a very good job of finding the middle of this Western Carolina defense. Tough shot, but they're getting to the spots that they want to against this man-to-man defense. Steger passes up the 3. Goslin has that one deflected. Rebound picked up by Ronshad Shabazz. One of the first few opportunities in transition. He takes it all the way down. Maybe an ill-advised pass. Or ill-advised shot opportunity there. And the Catamounts will collect and go the other direction. Darius Parks, another pull-up 3. That one off the mark. Rebound picked up, put in by Otto Steger.
Nice putback by the Catamounts as Steger, good positioning as the sophomore with a bucket. And now another good rebound here by the Catamounts. Really, all of a sudden, Daniel attacking the boards.
Catamounts have felt the challenge, and the marching orders for Larry Hunter is don't let them beat you on the boards. They've got the size advantage. We talked about Isaac Johnson at 6'9". We've talked about Griffin Kinney at 6'8". Talked about Jake Wilson, the biggest guy at 7'1", but here's a steal. This one could be trouble. The slam by Isaac Johnson in transition. The turnover and easy buckets in transition. That's what Appalachian State loves to do. A team, again, we've mentioned it multiple times, they love to score the basketball.
And that was the finish they were looking for. They had a couple of fast break opportunities earlier. Couldn't finish, but that time Isaac Johnson on the slam, and Appalachian State back to a 5-point advantage.
21-16, 7:32 to go, first half action. Back with more right after this.
I'll have the langoustine lobster ravioli.
For you, sir?
The original call was for langoustine ravioli. Langoustine is a tiny kind of lobster. Slight shellfish allergy rules that out. Plus, my wife ordered the langoustine. I will have chicken tenders and tater tots.
If you're a ref, you way over-explain things. That's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Sir, we don't have tater tots.
It's what you do.
I will have nachos.
When you come to the mountains, you're looking for something. A path, an adventure, a purpose. You're looking to be surrounded by something bigger than you. Because you know you're ready to reach, to rise. That's why people come here, to find it.
Large crowd on hand anytime Appalachian State gets into town here in Cullowhee, North Carolina to face Western Carolina, but the crowd making a little bit more noise. Our very own Summer McMahon has more on some of the noise coming from the right end of the arena.
I'm here with Western Carolina's highly accomplished Pride of the Mountains Band, and all 485 members are with us tonight. I talked to Dave Starnes earlier, who's the director of the band, and he said their goal tonight is to make as much noise as they possibly can.
Well, they definitely are. They're making it difficult for everybody in the building, including us as well. And you see, again, 485 strong, all in the end zone. Special thanks there, Summer, once again, with a great report there on the Pride of the Mountains Marching Band. Trying to will their Catamounts back in it, trailing 21-16. Matt Halverson still yet to score. Summer had a report on him earlier. You see pressure all over him everywhere he goes, and another shot clock violation for Western Carolina. And you look on the floor, the oldest player out there is junior transfer Mike Amius right now for Larry Hunter. So a youth movement right now on the floor for the Catamounts and not recognizing that shot clock running down.
And also away from their end of the floor with a bench, no assistance there. Not a lot of noise coming from the crowd with the shot clock countdown. So the turnover giving the ball back to the Mountaineers. Nearly
a turnover, but Kenny's able to chase it down. Amius, good defense on him. Trying to prevent the big fella from getting his way back down in the lane, and now he will, and it's going to be a foul, I think. They're going to call the block on Mike Amius. Kenny was doing a little Texas two-step across the lane, but he had a lot of help because Mike Amius was giving him all kinds of pressure. Mono Steger checks out. Another look at Larry Hunter again. 8th all-time among active NCAA head coaches, 691 victories, trying to use some of that influence with the officiating crew tonight.
A lot of those Division I victories came at Ohio University, and then Hunter at NC State as an assistant for 3 years before heading here to Cullowhee 14 years ago.
Foul on the floor, going to go against Western Carolina, will be the 5th against the Catamounts. A couple of fouls against the Mountaineers, both of those coming on offensive charges. No defensive fouls whistled against the Mountaineers as of yet. And the Catamounts and the Mountaineers, ASU leading 21-16. Trigger right baseline. Just throw it into the big fella. Out in front, Ronshad Shabazz has had Mutombo in his face all night long. About a forced shot. Mutombo will go get the rebound. Senior back on the floor for Larry Hunter's squad. Will run the point now. Gets it into the hands of freshman Desmond Johnson. 6.5 to go before the halftime break. Catamounts, another turnover, though, as Desmond Johnson just loses the handle. And here's a 2-on-0 break and another slam in transition by Isaac Johnson.
And that will be the 6th turnover here in the first half for the Catamounts. And Appalachian State able in the last 2 takeaways, Daniel, to convert into points.
4 fast break points, 6 points coming off of Western Carolina turnovers. Three ball has been good for the Catamounts so far in the first half, but they've all been by Darice Parks, who has, 12 of the 16 points. Mike Amius going to work. Up and under move is up and good. Nice move by Mike Amius, working against the much taller player down there in Griffin Kinney. Ball slapped away in transition. Good job by the Catamounts again, rotating back against the team Appalachian State. They got right to the midline. Back to Amius, so throws it up and he'll throw it off the window. Good. And Mike Amius, again coming off a 22-point performance against the College of Charleston, starting to heat up down low.
And finally able to penetrate that tough interior defense by the Mountaineers. And the Catamounts trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play and make it a two-point game here as we head down the stretch of the first half.
Mike Amius right at 70% free throw shooting on the year. Junior transfer up and good, and it's back to a one-possession game, 23-21. Appalachian State a couple of minutes now without consecutive field goals. Ronshad Shabazz is a guy that can get you one in a hurry, as is this guy. O'Shawn Williams can't connect there, and Maurice Smith with a good rebound. Maurice Smith, a big-sized guard. He's moved more into a forward-type role for Larry Hunter because of his size. Darice Parks back in for the Catamounts. Again, his hot start shooting, and there's Mike Amius. Can't connect on the dunk, trying to bring the rafters off the building with the large crowd, but nearly comes up with a steal, and it's going to be a foul, I think, on O'Shawn Williams after Amius had taken it away from him.
And Amius just trying to play make-up defense there after missing the dunk and able to get the ball back and then draw the foul. But he did the hard part, got by the 7-footer, but then could not finish on the dunk, and now you see the action here at midcourt and the foul called against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, loose ball foul right there. Nobody had possession of it, but a steal for Amius gives it back to Western Carolina. 5 minutes to play here in the opening half.
Second personal there on O'Shawn Williams.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 fouls. Well, not many fouls. They've let these two teams go at it in a tightly contested first half. Mountaineers have built the lead by as many as 8. Catamounts have led by as many as 4. Darice Parks between the circles. We've seen a lot of different players on the floor so far in the first half for Western Carolina. Appalachian State going to their bench some here off a screen. Shot up, no good. Trying it was Abubakar Mutombo, and again, he's one of those players that Larry Hunter is just scratching his head right now. A senior that's been off to a very sluggish start. Only one double-figure scoring game so far. Shabazz can't connect there, but Mutombo is finding ways to contribute with rebounds. Halverson in transition, can't get it to fall, but the Catamounts in transition will draw the contact. And right now, Appalachian State has got to be happy. They've got the 2-point advantage although Halverson going to the free throw line. But this game, the tempo, even though the scoring has not been there, the tempo has really started to pick up more for what Appalachian State wants to see.
Absolutely, but the Catamounts trying to make it play into their favor, and here with the free throw, the Catamounts 1 point away from creating a tie here after falling behind by as many as 7 points here in the first half.
Amius, Smith check out. You get a look at Western Carolina's leading scorer coming into the ball game, and Matt Halverson, the outstanding shooting freshman, and he'll knock down both of those. Has struggled with his shot. We mentioned and had the great report from Summer earlier that did not score in that loss at the College of Charleston. Adjusting to life at college basketball when you're high on a scouting report. Tie ball game 23-23. Half court set Tyrell Johnson. Adam Sled new into the ball game for Western Carolina. Sophomore that's making great strides for Larry Hunter's squad. Dribble drive by Justin Forrest and a push and a foul going to be whistled, I believe, on Halverson before he was able to get the space off the jab step. 23-23. Back to Cullowhee right after this.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable. Just like some people like free shaken sodas. Switch to #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
The 9-2 Steelers have won 6 straight. Now the Killer Bees go on the road to take on their division rivals in the Queen City. Monday Night Football. Steelers, Bengals. Tonight, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
Are you ready?
Everybody say Warriors. Warriors. Everybody say Warriors. Warriors.
They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
MLS Cup, Saturday at 4 Eastern on ESPN.
Saturday, two of the top pound-for-pound fighters collide for the WBO Junior Lightweight World title. Vasily Lomachenko and his high-tech fists defend his belt against undefeated Guillermo Rigondeaux. Gold medal winners square off in a historic night of boxing. Top Ranked Boxing, Saturday at 9 on ESPN.
Sweetens greetings from Volvo. This holiday season, celebrate the beauty of family with our holiday offers on cars like the XC90. With more intuitive safety innovations, you can keep the ones who matter most safe.
Appalachian State has seen its 8-point lead evaporate. A team that averages right at 39.6% shooting on the year. They're shooting right at that 40% here in the first half. But Jeff Bryson, they have cooled down from their 52 or so percent they were at there for most of this first half.
You're right down to 40% right now, shooting 9 of 22 from the floor. And the Catamounts staying about steady, 32% shooting the ball. But Daniel, they've been able to create some fast break points and tie the game here as we head down towards halftime.
And we talked about at the opening that Appalachian State loves to capitalize on turnovers. They've turned Western Carolina over 6 times and have gotten 6 points off of it, while Western Carolina has now turned Appalachian State over 7 times and has capitalized that on 12 points so far here. 2-point bucket back the other way. Mountaineers with the lead. Halverson from the corner, and he's going to be fouled. Justin Forrest got a piece of him as Halverson trying to get that shot off quicker and quicker, understanding that he's being face guarded and tight man-to-man defense.
And you can see the contact here behind the three-point line, so this will be 3 free throw attempts coming up. And Halverson saying, hey, if I can't get the buckets shooting the ball from field goal range, I'll pick him up here at the free throw line.
75% on the year is Halverson, knocks in the front end. Again, came in averaging 11.4 points per game. That average was above 13 prior to that College of Charleston game where he did not score. Second free throw up and good. Again, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. He's perfect on the night so far as he's knocked down all 4 of his attempts. Has one more coming. This could give Western Carolina their first lead since earlier in this first half, and will. 26-25. Catamounts have rallied back from an 8-point deficit to take a 1-point advantage. 3:30 to play before the halftime break. Right side, Johnson working it around. New man in the ball game is Bennett Holly, 6'8 junior. They replace one 6'8 guy with another 6'8 man. Dribble drive down inside. Scramble mode for Western Carolina, and then just losing control of the basketball was Justin Forrest. Halverson trying to get open on the wing. Mutombo looking at Sled. Good dribble penetration up off the window. Can't get it to fall in Appalachian State. So good at cleaning the glass.
And Mutombo continues to struggle on his patented move inside the lane.
Long rebound picked up by Appalachian State. Second shot won't fall, and Mutombo will come away with the miss. Mutombo already with 4 rebounds to lead Western Carolina. And this will be a battle to watch all night. The battle of the boards. Darius Parks has been quiet. He's got 12 points. All those coming early from beyond the arc. Mutombo trying to work it across court, pass deflected by Appalachian State, and they'll roll out of bounds. Catamounts will maintain possession, but only 9 on the shot clock.
Daniel, one other stat that's starting to tighten up the rebounds early on. Appalachian State really doing, as you mentioned, a great job cleaning the boards on both ends of the floor, but right now they only have a 2 rebound advantage over the Catamounts, and Westerns use that to their advantage to retake the lead.
Unable to get the friendly roll at home is Abubakar Mutombo. Good look down inside. Catamounts love to go on underneath out of bounds plays. They love to get the ball into the hands of number 11 and let him go to work one-on-one down low. A guard slash forward. There's a pull-up jump shot, no good. Gosselin's going to have the man, Isaac Johnson, come over the top. Looking for a rebound, and that will be.
It's going to be a bonus time for the Catamounts.
Yeah, Mark Gosselin will go to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. Get another look here at the missed pull-up jump shot, and watch right here. Mark Gosselin, a good box out, good positioning, and just getting him on the top of the head as he reached over. Does send Isaac Johnson to the bench with 2 fouls.
Gosselin, a 71% free throw shooter.
Adam Sled checks out. Amius back in. Gosselin to the line. Non-conference Sun Belt versus SoCon matchup tonight. Appalachian State, a former member of the Southern Conference. Longtime rival with Western Carolina. A series, Jeff, that dates back to 1927. Steve White remembers it well.
You know, the Catamounts only scored, I believe, 19 points in that first game. A little tough getting the points up in Boone back in the late 20s.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Ronshad Shabazz. Justin Forrest working the 2-man game. Good ball movement by Appalachian State. Good man-to-man defense. Tight man-to-man defense for Western Carolina. Shabazz in the lane. Up to the midline and good. Got to the free throw line right there in the middle of the floor, and Ronshad Shabazz, who has been quiet up until that point, able to knock it down. He's got 5 points in the ball game.
You can see why he was an all-Sun Belt second-team preseason pick for the Mountaineers as he's tied the game here, 27-all. Just over a minute remaining before the half.
They got a longer player in 6'8" Tyrell Johnson matched up against Darius Parks now. Amius trying to muscle his way inside and will draw the contact against Griffin Kenny. We've seen Kenny muscle his way down on the other end, and Mike Amius trying his hand at the old muscle move down inside. And Amius back to the free throw line. We mentioned earlier, Amius at the free throw line, right at 70%. Front end rattles home good. Western Carolina, a much better job at the free throw line so far tonight than what they had against the College of Charleston just a couple nights ago, which was a game against another former Southern Conference foe. This Southern Conference reunion tour for Western Carolina, the last 2 ball games. 3-ball left corner, good by Tyrell Johnson. And I'll tell you what, if a 6'8" junior can stretch the floor like that, that's going to bode well for Appalachian State throughout the year.
See what the Catamounts do here on what could be their final possession of the first half, down by 1.
Yeah, if they go quickly, could go 2 for 1. But now down to 15 on the shot clock. Amius will get it back, drives down, he goes up, one-handed slam as he works it inside against Kenny.
And credit Alverson with a beautiful assist inside. Alverson coming up with a nice pass.
We're going to get a foul call down low in transition. We'll see if we can get another look at that. It happened so fast. Again, getting the ball, Ronshad Shabazz, and immediately going. So 2 shots coming for Shabazz. A 77% free throw shooter. That one hard off the back iron, no good. Much to the delight of the large crowd here in Cullowhee, and Coach Hunter is going to call a 30-second timeout. Western Carolina leads by 1, 31-30, with 33.5 seconds remaining here in this opening half of what's been a highly entertaining basketball game. You wonder what's being said in that huddle right now by Larry Hunter. But again, the foul called on a very quick transitional play. Get another look at it right here. It all started on the other end. Got the dunk right here, but watch how quickly Appalachian State gets out in transition. The dunk right there. Ball goes through the hoop. The Catamounts, no time to celebrate because right there, boom, they're right back up the floor. And they got the foul right there on Gosselin. Amius with the block on the shot. But they call the foul on Mark Gosselin, his second.
And coming back out of the timeout, the Mountaineers back at the free throw line. See the student section here at Western Carolina University tonight. One
more free throw coming here by Shabazz. Missed the front end, missed the second one. Catamounts with a 1-point advantage. And now there's about a 2 to 3 second difference, shot clock, game clock. Mutombo will run the point. He doesn't run the point all that often, but they'll move Darius Parks off the ball. I would see Darius Parks will probably touch it, and then maybe Mike Amius for Western Carolina. But keep an eye on Halverson lurking in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. Parks has it. Puts it on the floor. Step back shot's going to be blocked. It'll be a shot clock violation as they ran it all the way down. Parks trying with a tough step back. And again, against the long, athletic Tyrell Johnson, he slung it into his own bench.
And again, Appalachian State with some stout defense there. They're going to have a shot here to go try to cut down on this 1-point deficit. That's still 3.3. They put more time on the clock here, so the Mountaineers blessed now with over 3 seconds here to try to get off this final shot, but have a timeout on the floor.
And Appalachian State will take a 30-second timeout as Coach Jim Fox, 4th season at Appalachian State. You get a look at his huddle as he talks things over and tries to figure out what they're going to do in the last 3.3. Plenty of time to get the ball in. We'll see if the Catamounts pressure in the backcourt to make them pick the ball up sooner. Well, with the long athletic players they have, they could probably lob it to the midcourt area and make a play from there. Larry Hunter sends his troops back out, and what he's got to be very proud of the effort they've given here. Again, just the second time this home crowd has been able to see this team this year. A tough road stretch for Western Carolina through the state of South Carolina twice at Clemson, a team that was very impressive against Ohio State in that ACC Big Ten Challenge. College of Charleston, one of the better teams in the state of South Carolina, picked to win the Colonial. They look at the midcourt throw. Kenny runs long. They lob it in. Ball's going to be deflected. It's going to stay here. A lot of time run off the clock for that to go from 3.3 to 2.1. They have it at the midcourt stripe. They get it into Johnson. Johnson shot. It's going to be good if it goes, but it rattles off. No good. And Western Carolina will take the 1-point edge into the halftime locker room. A highly entertaining opening 20 minutes between Western Carolina and Appalachian State. 1-point lead for the Catamounts over the Mountaineers. We'll check in with the third member of our broadcast team standing by with Western Carolina assistant coach Willie Freeman. Take it away, Summer.
Coach, this has been a very close, high-energy game. How do you plan on separating